You should know the contents of the cubital fossa, as you know that mitochondria is powerhouse of the cell. Hi friends, today we will talk about cubital fossa. It is also known as antecubital fossa or cubital triangle. It is a very important anatomical landmark which is present in front of this elbow joint, and so it is also known as elbow pit. It basically serves as a passage for the important neurovascular structures that pass from the arm into the forearm. So it is very important clinically. So in exams as well as in vivas, the boundaries and contents of this cubital fossa are often asked. So in this video we will discuss the boundaries and contents of cubital fossa as well as its clinical significance. We will also discuss a mnemonic to memorize the contents of the cubital fossa, so stay tuned. So cubital fossa is basically a intermuscular space or a shallow depression that is present between two muscles, that is the brachioradialis muscle which is present laterally and the pronator teres muscle which is present medially. So it is in the form of an inverted triangle whose apex is directed downwards while base is upwards, and it is present between these two muscles. It is basically a closed space having a floor as well as skin. So let's first discuss the lateral and medial boundaries of this cubital fossa, then we will discuss the floor as well as the roof of this space. Here as you can see, I have drawn the boundaries of the cubital triangle. This is the lateral boundary and this is the medial boundary and this is base of triangle. Here as we know, laterally the brachioradialis muscle is present, which originates from the lateral supracondylar ridge of the humerus and is inserted into the radius bone, while medially there is origin of pronator teres muscle from the common flexor origin, and it moves towards like this laterally and is inserted into the middle of the radius bone. So at this point both these bellies of both these muscles join together to form the apex of this triangle. So in between there is an intermuscular space known as cubital triangle. So here I have drawn this red line denotes the medial border of the brachioradialis muscle, while this line denotes the lateral border of the pronator teres muscle. And spirally I have drawn an imaginary line which passes through the two epicondyles of the humerus. So it is basically a horizontal imaginary line passing through the two epicondyles of the humerus, forming the base of this triangle. So this is the medial boundary of the triangle, this is the lateral boundary, this is the base which is superior, and this is the apex which is directed inferiorly. So medial border is formed by the lateral border of the pronator teres muscle, while the lateral border is formed by the medial border of the brachioradialis muscle, and base is formed by drawing an imaginary line passing through the two epicondyles of the humerus, and apex is formed at the junction of both these borders which is directed downwards. So cubital fossa is also known as cubital triangle as it is in the form of an inverted triangle. So now let's talk about the roof and floor of this triangle. The floor of this triangle is formed by two muscles which form a kind of bed for the contents present in this space. Proximally we have the brachialis muscle which originates anteriorly from the humerus, and distally the floor is formed by the supinator muscle which wraps the neck of the radius bone. Now let's talk about the roof of this space. As we know, it is covered by skin, and underneath skin the fascia is present, superficial fascia, and then there is a bicipital aponeurosis which is a tendinous aponeurosis of the biceps brachii muscle. In the subcutaneous fat there are very important structures of the arm which are superficial veins of the upper limb that are very important clinically. So first let's talk about these veins. Two of the very important veins are present in the roof of the cubital triangle. These are cephalic vein that runs along the lateral border of arm and forearm, while medially basilic vein is present. These two veins are joined together by another vein known as cubital vein. As you can see, cubital vein can be visualized here. This is the cubital vein. It runs spiromedially and joins the cephalic vein and the basilic vein. The cubital vein is very important clinically, as we will discuss later. Below these superficial veins, bicipital aponeurosis is present, which separates these veins from the contents of the cubital triangle. So it basically forms the roof of the cubital fossa and protects the contents of the cubital fossa. Now let's discuss the contents of the cubital fossa. So if we start from medially, medial most here, as we can see, this is the median nerve, and lateral to that brachial artery is present, and lateral to that the tendon of the biceps brachii muscle is present, and lateral most we have radial nerve. So now let's discuss the mnemonic, which can help us to easily memorize these structures in an order. So the mnemonic is MBBR. Here we have taken the first alphabets of all these structures and we have arranged them from medial to lateral order. So medial most we have median nerve, then we have brachial artery, then we have biceps brachii tendon, and then we have radial nerve. So we can easily memorize these structures in an order by using this mnemonic MBBR, as it resembles with the word MBBS. So it is easier to memorize these structures using this mnemonic. So now let's discuss the description of these structures. So here median nerve runs along the medial border of the cubital triangle. It passes between the two heads of the pronator teres muscle and enters the forearm, while lateral to that brachial artery is present. Bifurcation of cubital artery occurs in the cubital triangle distally, as here it bifurcates into the ulnar artery and the radial artery. Lateral to that, tendon of the biceps brachii muscle is present, which is inserted into the radial tuberosity. Its aponeurosis also forms the biceptal aponeurosis, forming the roof of this triangle and separating these structures from the superficial veins such as cubital vein. And later to that we have the radial nerve. The radial nerve is often present behind the belly of the brachioradialis muscle, so it is strictly not considered as the content of the cubital triangle, but mostly we discuss it as the content of the cubital triangle. Contents of the cubital fossa should be on your fingertips because they are often asked in the vivas. So we have discussed the contents and boundaries of the cubital triangle. So now let's discuss its clinical significance, that why it is so important in the anatomy and what kind of clinical questions can be asked from this in the vivas. So first of all, most important clinical significance of the cubital fossa is that the brachial pulses can be palpated in this fossa. So first we will palpate the tendon of the biceps brachii, and just medial to that the brachial artery is present, so we can palpate the brachial artery pulse here. Secondly, cubital fossa is also used to attach the diaphragm of the BP apparatus to calculate the blood pressure. Thirdly and most importantly, the cubital fossa is used for venipuncture. As we discussed that in the superficial fascia, very important vein known as cubital vein is present, which forms the roof of the cubital triangle, and this vein is usually used for the venipunctures because of two main reasons. First of all, it is easily visualized, as we can see here it is running spheromedially in this triangle, and secondly because below it the biceptal aponeurosis is present, so it protects the deeper important structures such as brachial artery and the median nerve. So the risk is less here because the syringe cannot penetrate easily the biceptal aponeurosis and damage the deeper structures. So this is the most common site for venipuncture. Fourthly, another important but rare clinical is that the median nerve here passes between the two heads of the pronator teres muscle, so it can be compressed here, resulting in the pronator teres syndrome, which is similar to the carpal tunnel syndrome, where the median nerve is compressed in the carpal tunnel. But carpal tunnel syndrome is way more common than this pronator teres syndrome, and this also occurs in case of swelling of the elbow, where the nerve can be compressed between these two heads. So my rooster has learned everything you need to know about the cubital fossa, so he can definitely do a venipuncture now. So this is all you need to know about the cubital triangle. Best of luck for the exams, and like this video, tell me in the comment section if I missed any point, and subscribe to this channel will be amazing. So goodbye.